From the roaring tracks of Singonia to the serene labs, Singonheimer's journey was anything but ordinary. Our tale begins the heart of Singonia, where the roar of engines and the smell of burning rubber marked the life of a young racer named Singonheimer. A prodigy in his craft, he was a formidable force in both motos and Formula Singo, leaving spectators in awe of his talent and determination. But as the sun set on the racetracks, it rose over a different kind of battleground for Singonheimer. The allure of science and innovation tugged at his heartstrings, pulling him into a world of equations and hypotheses. You see, Singonheimer wasn't just a racer. He was a thinker, a dreamer, a man with an insatiable curiosity that extended beyond the finish line. His transition from being a racer to a scientist was as thrilling as it was unexpected. He traded in his racing helmet for a lab coat, his circuit for a lab, and his audience for a team of fellow scientists. But the thrill, the adrenaline rush that came with racing, was replaced by the thrill of discovery, the adrenaline rush of a breakthrough. Yet the echoes of his past were never too far away. The tragic death of his teammate Techno during a pivotal race, swept away by a sudden and violent tsunami at the Misano circuit, was a haunting and vivid reminder of the risks they all took as racers. Techno was signing autographs for Pacini fans when an imposing and colossal tsunami wave succumbed to the Misano circuit, taking his life. It was a chilling sight that brought home the stark reality of the sport they loved. Techno wasn't just a teammate, he was a friend, a comrade, a part of the racing family that Singonheimer left behind. His loss was a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the price of passion. The thrill of the race was replaced by the thrill of discovery, but the echoes of the past were never too far away. In the midst of his foreknowledge, Singonheimer carried the memories of his racing days, the victories, the losses, the camaraderie, and the tragedies, including the vivid memory of Techno's life-ending tragedy, as a testament to his journey from the tracks of Singonia to the labs of discovery. Fate has a cruel way of reminding us of our mortality, and for Singonheimer, it came in the shocking form of devastating losses. At this moment, Singonheimer was still a racer, but in a world of high-speed thrills and adrenaline, danger is never far behind. The racing community was struck by three heart-wrenching tragedies that year. First, we had Florenzano, one of the most brilliant drivers in Formula Singo. His skills on the track were unparalleled, until an unfortunate accident on the fateful day took the life of his competitor, Gennaro. The crash with Florenzano sent Gennaro flying out of his car, straight into an electric fence. The electric shock ended his life instantly, leaving the racing community and fans worldwide in a state of shock and grief. But the tragedies were far from over. Gabriele Pizzilli, another superstar of racing, met a gruesome end in a go-kart crash that was so horrific it left him decapitated, sending ripples of sorrow through the racing world. However, the most shocking blow came from an unexpected source. In a tank in Cisterna di Latina, a deadly virus known as the Val virus began to unleash its wrath. The virus was swift and lethal, causing severe health complications that could claim a life within hours. The racing community was hit hard by this outbreak, with many drivers forced to retire early due to the health risks. The virus didn't discriminate, sweeping through the community without mercy and claiming the life of racing superstar Caracal. In a horrible way, the virus made the blood boil, causing Caracal's body to explode. His untimely death left the world in a state of disbelief and the racing community crippled with fear and loss. The pandemic continued unabated for 6 tortuous months. This is the moment where Singonheimer showed off his skills as a scientist and not just a pilot for the first time. As Singonheimer stepped up and worked with his old rivals and friends Florenzano and Nome on the most potent vaccines, Nomerna and Carlo. Using his extensive scientific knowledge, Singonheimer played a pivotal role in formulating an effective vaccine to combat the Val virus. His tireless work helped to contain the deadly outbreak, eventually leading to the virus's defeat. In the wake of these tragedies, Singonheimer found himself grappling with profound grief and a sense of helplessness. Yet, instead of letting despair consume him, he allowed the pain to fuel his purpose. The loss of his fellow racers, including Techno, and the devastation caused by the Val virus, ignited a fire within him, prompting him to dedicate his life to the noble cause of aiding mankind through his scientific knowledge. Singonheimer was determined to prevent such disasters from happening again. In the face of such loss, he found a renewed purpose: to use his scientific knowledge for the betterment of mankind. The world of science and the world of villainy collided when Singonheimer came face to face with his nemesis Val. This was a face-off of epic proportions, a clash of titans, a game of chess with the highest of stakes. Singonheimer, our brilliant scientist and racing enthusiast, was working on something that had never been done before, the creation of the first atomic bomb. This bomb, a symbol of Singonheimer's genius and the culmination of years of dedicated research, was designed to protect his homeland Singonia from the looming threat of Val. Singonheimer understood the immense power that lay within his creation, a power that could either safeguard Singonia or lead to its utter destruction. Val, on the other hand, was a figure cloaked in bitterness and resentment. Once a close associate of Singonheimer, he felt overlooked, sidelined, and bullied. This toxic cocktail of emotions turned Val into a supervillain, hell-bent on outshining Singonheimer. Driven by his resentment, Val stole Singonheimer's blueprints, aiming to create his own atomic bomb. The race was on, a race not on the familiar tracks of Singonia's racing circuits, but in the labs and workshops, where the fate of Singonia hung in the balance. The rivalry between Singonheimer and Val was a twisted dance, a game of cat and mouse. Val, with his stolen blueprints, was trying to replicate Singonheimer's atomic bomb, while Singonheimer was constantly refining his creation, making it more efficient, more powerful. This was not just a battle of brains and brawn, it was a battle of wills, of determination, and of love for Singonia. Singonheimer's love for his homeland was his driving force, pushing him to work tirelessly, to keep going despite the odds stacked against him. Val, fueled by his resentment and ambition, was determined to prove himself superior, to show the world that he was more than just Singonheimer's shadow. His ambition, however, was tainted by malice, by a desire to cause harm rather than protect. In the race against time, Singonheimer was determined to use his scientific prowess to protect his beloved Singonia. The day the sky rained fire on Singonia, a hero was born. It was a day of unimaginable horror and destruction, a day when Singonia, a beacon of hope and innovation, was reduced to ashes. The atomic bomb, a creation intended for protection, was the very tool of Singonia's downfall, stolen and used by the vengeful supervillain, Val. In a single moment, every building, every life, was engulfed in a pyrotechnic spectacle. The once bustling city fell silent, save for the haunting echo of flames. In the aftermath of the devastation, the world turned its gaze towards the perpetrator of this monstrous act. Val, driven by jealousy and bitterness, became the world's public enemy number one. He was the target of every military force, his name synonymous with destruction and betrayal. But justice was on the horizon. Antonio Cicerale, an agent from the AMNC operative team, stepped up to the challenge. A historic friend of Singonia, he was the embodiment of courage and determination. In a coordinated blitz, he ended Val's reign of terror, reclaiming peace and justice for the world. His act of bravery was a beacon of hope amidst the darkness, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. In the wake of Singonia's fall, the world came together to remember and honor its legacy. A national day was established to commemorate Singonia and its most illustrious son, Singonheimer. A day to remember the triumphs over adversity, the relentless pursuit of knowledge, and the sacrifice made for the greater good. A statue of Singonheimer was erected, standing tall as a symbol of resilience and hope. Crafted in his likeness, it serves as a daily reminder of his extraordinary contribution to science and his undying love for Singonia. It's now the most important monument in the world, visited by millions, a testament to the lasting legacy of a hero. Though Singonia was no more, the spirit of Singonheimer lived on, reminding us all of the power of resilience and the pursuit of knowledge.